Welcome to Around the Peninsula. I'm Army Sergeant Matt Cromer. The hot summer can't stop the students at Casey Elementary School from learning science. Instead, they learn while competing in a boat race. Corporal Kim Sang-yup tells us more.
Casey Elementary School students take time during their summer for a friendly competition on the water. 5th grade teacher Luciana Akech explains the rules of the boat regatta.
They are required to use duct tape and cardboard to design boats, and then when they design the boats, they come for a race, and whichever team wins the race and also wins the best looking boat wins.
A 5th grade student sweeps by all other competitors in this elementary middle school level race. Natalie Diaz explains how she manages to win it all.
Our boat, we had to make sure that it was sturdy enough, that if we put it in, it wouldn't sink. And then once we made it more sturdy, we put designs on it. We made an alligator, and then I won the whole thing.
We hope that with this regatta, it will help them develop a love for engineering, because it's all about design and engineering. So we hope they develop that love and eventually become the engineers of the future.
Katusa Corporal Kim Sang-yup, Camp Casey, Korea.
The winning boat's name is SS Yo Mama. It is important for military bases to be well prepared for emergency situations. Army Sergeant Puma Perry joins one alliance that trains and goes together.
Soldiers are primed with their gear and waiting for orders. The 6th Ordnance Battalion conducts an annual base defense exercise.
Camp Carroll has a very unique mission in that we're the only base in South Korea that actually conducts combined base defense and area defense exercises with the Oroka military. So as they conduct their annual reserve mobilization, we conduct a base defense exercise with them together.
6th Ordnance teamed up with some unlikely soldiers for this exercise. The Rock Army 2 120th Reserve Regiment soldiers, who have already finished their mandatory service, participate in the exercise with eagerness and determination.
This is my 4th year in the Reserved Regiment, and I'm really glad to participate in a combined exercise with the U.S. Army. Although my military service is over, I can still build esprit de corps by working with soldiers once a year. I am proud of every soldier who is serving for their country, and I hope they do their best on every mission they have.
Through various missions, the ROK and U.S. Army not only learn how to react to different situations, but also develop a relationship that will last well into the future.
Every year, I think our partner units and ourselves get not only better at this, but we build better bonds. We kind of reinforce this with a lot of good neighbor events that we do with them every year. So we have a long-lasting partnership with this organization that I hope will continue years after I leave.
Army Sergeant Puma Perry, Camp Carroll, Korea.
Roka and the 6th Ordnance Battalion have built a strong relationship by conducting Dabudong remains excavations and several exercises together. Taking an hour away from work doesn't seem like much, but when that time is put to a good use, it means a whole lot more.
Building blocks and big smiles kicked off the read-along at the Child Development Center here at Osan Air Base. The read-along was a success, with several parents and volunteers regaling the Tykes with positive messages from their favorite storybooks.
What I take away from this program is being able to spend time with my son and having that quality time with him, knowing that I am involved with him and his class and how he's being brought up, and seeing how his teachers interact with him and other students as well.
The old saying, "It takes a village to raise a child," resounds in its truest form in the military community.
My favorite part of the program is having people from the community come out and spend time with the children, because they go through a lot, and being able to spend as much time with them, even if it isn't their own parent.
But the next time the little redhead needed help around the house, nobody said, "Not I."
If I saw my son with someone else, I'd really appreciate that as well.
The doctor and the doctor said.
I'm just thankful for everyone and everything that they do here, and just grateful.
I'm Air Force Staff Sergeant Isaac Garden, Osan Air Base, Korea.
There are 1.2 million school-aged children with a parent in the military. About 86,000 attend schools operated by the Department of Defense education activity on military installations. The tragedy of war should be remembered for future generations so not to repeat itself. Army Sergeant Ryan Sharp takes us to a place where a piece of history lives on.
At the center of Seoul, the sounds of war can be heard. The War Memorial of Korea is the one and only war-related museum in Korea, filled with real weapons, replicas, and displays. For museum visitor Todd Leonard, this is more than a journey back in time.
I had a great uncle that fought in the Korean War, and he was wounded. I kind of think about what he had to go through and his sacrifice, and those the areas and how difficult it would have been to just survive up there.
The museum is made up of 7 exhibition halls, each displaying different themes, such as United Nations forces, defense industry, and ancient war history. Among the many exhibits here at the War Memorial is the Korean War Room, where you can see actual items used during the war, such as this 3-inch anti-aircraft gun, and you can also learn about the cause and course of the war up until the signing of the armistice. The War Memorial also hosts many events to honor patriots who made the ultimate sacrifice. Army Sergeant Ryan Sharp, Seoul, Korea.
The War Memorial of Korea was built in 1994 on the same place where the former Republic of Korea Army headquarters was once located. The Seoul American Middle School makes learning a rewarding experience. Army Private Pedro Amador takes us into the school's front office to get a piece of the education.
2 yes.
For their question of the day.
And 9 no.
Just outside, the air is abuzz with eagerness of students waiting to see if they have won a prize.
We gotta find a yes or a no. Every morning I post a new question, and the kids come in and they answer it. And if they write down the wrong answer, I actually send them back and don't let them enter.
16 is the right number.
And then on Friday, we do a drawing on our announcements, and whoever's name we pull, they win. Usually it's just a small bag of candy.
Rebecca was the pioneer for the school's question of the day incentive, and since then, the students have shown a great appetite for participation.
It's kind of cool because you get a chance to come in every morning and answer the question of the day. It kind of gives your brain a little challenge sometimes, and the motivation for it is candy at the end of the week. Yeah, every morning I'm like, I gotta go answer the question of the day.
Today's question of the day was quite unusual, as the kids had to guess whether the staff could fit a smart car through the doors of the front office.
Of course it can fit in here. It's so small. It's a big space. I mean, it can fit in here. I'm pretty sure it can. So I just said yes and put my name in there. Hope I win.
As a mother of 3, Rebecca knows very well how to build bonds with the children.
I think it makes learning fun, makes kids feel successful. There's no grade, there's nothing tied to it, and it increases the communication between all the staff with the students. It creates a relationship between the students.
Now that's what I call a school with an open door policy. Army Private Pedro Amador, Yongsan, Korea.
Today's question has been posted in the office.
Mrs. McNamara took the idea for the question of the day from a gym in Olympia, Washington. Training procedures in the live fire exercise give unquestionable safety assurance to civilians working in Korea. Corporal Kim Sang-yup tells us how.
Safety is top priority for every training event. Lieutenant Colonel Lindy Saunier explains the range operations and the importance of Rodriguez Live Fire Complex to his unit's mission.
So every time we come out to train at Rodriguez Live Fire, safety starts in the rear with our plan to make sure that everybody understands what we're going to be doing here. It happens all the way through training event, and then we AAR it after the training event is done to ensure that we're continuing to do things safely, both for our soldiers and pilots and for the local community, to ensure that they're safe while we're here training.
It's very normal, and this is a great opportunity.
Amy Jackson, the president of American Chamber of Commerce Korea, shares with us what she experienced at Rodriguez Range.
We learned how much training really occurs every day, day in and day out, with all the different soldiers, not only stationed here, but outside of Korea, which was really interesting to learn. We learned some of the capabilities that we have here, which I think makes a lot of Americans who live in Korea and work in Korea feel more comfortable, more confident that we're all together ready for any challenges that might come.
Katosa Corporal Kim Sang-yup, Rodriguez Live Fire Complex, Korea.
This is a combined exercise with 4-2 ARB and 3-2 MAR. That was your Around the Peninsula for Thursday, July 2nd. From all of us at AFN, enjoy your evening.